What is going on, guys? Welcome back to your favorite Scotch and Bourbon review channel. We'll talk about muln in just a moment. This is Jefferson's. Jefferson's is, no, do not spend your money on Jefferson's. Look at the color. The color is not there. I like my bourbon over a few rocks, and I like my Scotch neat. There's nothing to it, and Nope, the packaging lies. Do not spend your money on Jefferson's. So, saved you a few bucks there. Let's see what we can do with muln. All right, getting into it. We knew Thursday, Friday, it was going to make its decision, right? So here we are Thursday, sitting right at trend line, and Friday we fell out of trend line. It just has to happen. But what's interesting is it comes right back down to the area we are familiar with. So you guys were watching, you're like, hey, I know 33 cents or whatever looks like a decent area to test some waters. So maybe you tested some waters and you got a way better entry than being up here buying at the top. That's one of the pluses about being at the channel. We try not to buy at the top. I mean, somebody's got to push it, but it might as well not be us, few thousand or whoever comes back and watches these videos. Let it be the FOMO. Let it be the other people. Let it be the gamma. Let it be the institutions. Don't let it be you. We are all about protecting our money and buying at the best possible values where we see them. So the good thing is we sucked right back into our wedge. Nice. The markets had a little bit of a recovery. Okay. I think the markets are going to play a big factor into what we're doing here. I'm very bearish. Very bearish. On the markets. I think we had our bull run. I think big money's trying to ease their money out of the system right now. I think they're trying to get the best prices that they can, and it might take, who knows, a couple days, couple weeks, but it's going to come out. I almost could promise you that money's going to come out, and it's going to impact all of your investments, long-term, SPY, muln, whatever. I think we're in for a world of hurt. Now, not many people watch my SPY video. That's why I don't do SPY videos very often, because we're all geniuses, right? We all know everything there is to know about SPY. Watch that video. There is a pink line on there that I think is very interesting. At least it is to me. And I think that you guys watching these videos should at least be a little bit more knowledgeable than everybody else out there thinking that this is, going to the moon. As far as markets in general. I'm not saying muln, we just need that stinking news. You know what? I tweeted at DM today. He probably doesn't pay attention to me. I know he watches my videos, but I don't know if he watches my Twitter or not, but we'll see. So anyway, we're back in at least our trend line here, which is okay. It's not ideal. But we are back above our fib line, giving us a little bit of support here at 35.66. So let's see if we can hold. We're at 36.57 in the after hours. This pattern overall, now we're going to draw a new line right here, just live. Why not? You are sitting right at a breakout. So we are pinned between our last our last bear flag that we broke to the upside, which was nice to see, but we're sitting low on that bear flag trend line, and we are sitting high on our trend line breakout. So what does that tell you? The risk to reward here is very, very tight. If you are going in for this breakout, you're at like 36.5 cents. If you're falling out of it, you're at like 35.5 cents. So there's not a whole lot of risk to reward if you're not protecting your accounts to the downside, because I mean, say you add 100 shares here and you're just like, I would like those 100 shares if this is a good bargain, but if I lose a buck or that penny, cut those 100 shares, because there might be a better entry that comes back down to test our box again down here at the 33 cents. Who knows what's going to happen with the markets? You have to be playing it smart right now. Do not get carried away. Don't get sucked into everything else that you're reading, whether it be on Reddit or Twitter or whatever. I know I'm just a YouTuber. Don't get sucked into YouTube either, because there's a lot of really bad information out there. And I try to be the channel that doesn't give you bad information. I try to give you the information that's going to protect yourself to the downside. If we get upside, that's awesome. We're making money. but also protecting your accounts is what really will make you money in the long term. Getting those good entries is what's going to make you money in the long term. YOLOing is not the way unless you got money that you're just burning, right? You had a good trading day, you want to burn a little bit of money, YOLO, whatever. I don't care. Everybody, to each their own. You're all in a different financial situation. Just do not put all your eggs in one basket. Do not put yourself out, out of your realm of reach, whatever you can realistically sit on for quite some time, because we're fighting an uphill battle, and I think you all are aware of that, at least that come back here and watch this channel. I mean, others might tell you differently, but we're fighting an uphill battle. That's why we're taking it, literally pennies at a time. I'm not telling you, since my first video, that was my first moon video, and we did very well. From there, I'm telling you, we're just doing increments at a time, and we're making sense of this whole thing, and we're watching it closely. So right now, I wouldn't be too worried, but again, see how it moves, draw up your trend lines. You guys can do this, just hit your tops. I want you all to be doing your own TA, honestly. Compare it to whatever I'm saying, because I'm not always right. We can throw this out and 5 people will draw it up 5 different ways. So I want you to draw up your trend lines, whatever you have in your channels, whatever you're seeing. Is this a bull flag? Yeah, it could be. It could be a bull flag right here. You're quick to recognize them as they're coming down, but what does that mean? That means we could have a further deep touch down here somewhere if we're going to get 3 touches to the downside in a bull flag. So there might be an even better entry than 33 cents. So that's why, again, if you're playing the 33 cent as a bounce, you're watching your account to the downside, because you're like, hey, I can readily recognize that this does appear to be a bull flag, which means to me, statistically, it's going to break to the upside at some point. I just don't know where that bounce is going to come in. So you're doing that as well. You're going to start mentally recognizing whenever you start seeing these patterns, whether you have 2 or 3 touches or whatever, you're going to start seeing them play out as you zoom out and just look at the charts. The quicker you recognize them, the better trader you're going to be. Right now, you're saying, if this is a bull flag, this is a pretty risky area to get in. But if it holds what I think it's going to hold, then awesome, I made a great entry. So that's why you're protecting yourself right here. But just keep an eye on it. We're waiting for David to confirm that IGO is in Ireland. I think that will be a nice announcement. I don't know. I'm just optimistic. I think it's going to mean something. Let's look at our ortex. So still on the threshold list, if it makes sense to you. 12.78% live short interest of the free float. That's a little bit of an increase. The live short interest coming in at 181.16 million shares. Cost to borrow average 26.96%. Utilization day 4 billion, 100% utilization. So all of that looks okay to me. Failure to delivers, they don't really mean a whole lot to me. I mean, I guess threshold list for now, but they're ultimately going to end up into FTDs. We know that this comes and goes, and nothing really ever seems to happen from it. You can look back to April 5th, 6th of 2022 and see what happened up until May 20th, 2022, as far as the price goes being on the threshold list. Okay, so this is where Ortex is. You can see your stock price in here, and you can see what happens. So it doesn't mean a whole lot. I'm just, we like to think that it's going to have an impact, but right now, the financial system that we are working with is highly manipulated. There's not a whole lot of protection for retail. This doesn't mean much to them, so don't get into the hype of it. Maybe it'll turn into something, but I'm telling you, if you just look back on threshold lists, when they went on, when they came off, where'd those shares go, I don't know. We get the data delayed 15, 30 days. We can't even hardly track what's going on there. We have back tested this. You can kind of see where, maybe, if, when they cover some. They don't cover them all at once. And it never spikes high enough to really, you know, amount to anything. Like they'll cover, spike it up, right, and then just short it right back down to an even lower point, cover some more to get it off the threshold list, short it down to an even lower point, and the spikes just get a little bit lower each time. Look back at some of my BBBY videos or Redbox videos. I think we covered them on that channel, just trying to educate people. So the videos are out there. I don't know how easy they are to find, but they're out there. So again, here we're realistic. We try to be a little bit smarter, a little bit more down to earth than a lot of the other whatever you're following. And I'm not always right, guys. I promise you that. I am wrong many times. If I was a perfect trader, I would tell you I'm a perfect trader, because that would be something to brag about. But I'm not, and I don't know everything about the markets. I'm just retail that studies some of the back tests, and I look at these things over history, and do they ever amount to anything, and what becomes of it. And I put it all together, and I tell you if it's like a dud or if it's something that we should be interested in. And to me, threshold list is kind of a dud. I think it means we got ripped off from the start in the first place, and they are going to rip us off a second time in the long run over the next 35 days. So that's my take. Have your convictions in what you will. Don't take my word for gold. It just is what it is. But hey, I want you guys to have a good weekend. I think we had a good day in the markets. Hopefully, at least you had a good week. We had several trend days. I think you guys made money going into the weekend. So you're going to be happy. You're going to be hyped up. And we will catch you over the weekend, if not Monday. Make good choices, guys. Stay safe. I want to see you all back here on Monday. Catch you in the next one. As always, stay golden, people. And may your accounts stay green.